Welcome to our podcast, everyone. I am Mohit and he's Satvik from BCS Section A. Today we are diving into the topic of mindfulness, where we'll explore the meaning of mindfulness and its perceived impacts on daily lives and its role in academic settings. And today I am thrilled to have Dr. Amrit Thulal with us today. Thank you for joining us, sir, and sharing your valuable time, especially on the weekend. Sir, before we start with the questionnaire, could you please introduce yourself briefly and tell us a bit about your background too?
Thank you. Okay. As you rightly said, my name is Amrit. I joined MIT many years back, to be precise, in 1999, when even the MIT University was not born. I started my career teaching Engineering Institute of MIT. So in the last 24 plus years, I have taught more than 3,000 students, and I'm happy to see them across the world.
Thank you for the brief introduction, sir. Before we directly start with the questions, I just wanted to know what mindfulness really means to you, sir.
See, ideally, I feel it is not a very original word because many times, because of science changing times, we frame the words. For example, sometimes we use scientific innovations in spirituality. Same way, we started something about mind, which is absolutely technical, to a non-technical thing called mindfulness. According to me, it is a combination of intelligence and wisdom.
That's a very unique perspective, sir. So, my first question to you will be how do you perceive the concept of mindfulness?
Fine. As I already said, again, my interpretation, intelligence and wisdom. So, what is intelligence? Intelligence is when you do the things much wiser than the other people. If the other people only see the short term perspective, you see the long term perspective. If you try to do only based on today's facts, you do not consider this, you should consider bigger facts. If some people only do it in the terms of regional perspective, you try to see it in the global perspective. That is intelligence. And wisdom is something big, much bigger than that, where you talk about the well-being of mankind. You see whether what you are doing. Suppose I do something which is in my selfish interest, and it in terms harms the student. Then, according to me, it is not mindfulness because my perspective is fulfilled. I may get promotion, I may get increment, I may be very happy. Then, but it is, for example, if a lecturer goes to a class and sweep, and the person feels that he is sweeping for 1 hour and having a wonderful relax of mind, that will remove all tensions from the mind of of the teacher and tell all the other students also to sweep instead of teaching the core subject. So spirituality, it is wonderful. The whole class is sweeping, having meditation, and teacher is having also sweeping, having meditation. But the bottom line is what the teacher is for. The professor is there to explain the intricacies of the subject. That's why the students have joined. So,
Yes,
plus another scenario. A lecturer goes to the class and talks to the first five students. Those five students are the wisest student of the class, and the lecturer is happy with those wiser students. Is he a good lecturer? In that case, rest of the class is doing nothing, is enjoying life. So is enjoying life mindfulness? Because they have joined this institute not to just enjoy life, but to understand various concepts of their core subjects. So ideally, if a person who is an educator try to ensure that each person who is sitting in the session gets some value addition. One. Second, some new perspective about the things. Two. Third, get the wisdom to think about that area from a different direction. That is what is mindfulness. Many times, what happens is in a traditional education system, the educator comes, opens the PPT, read the PPT, takes the attendance, and say thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is that? He or she is not using mind. It is an automation process. It's a pure automation process. It will be mind if the educator talks about certain social issues and the implication or subject of the social issues. We talk about some political issues and the relevance of the subject in the political issues. For example, you're talking about digital marketing. You say, how relevant is digital marketing? Is it blindly selling something to a person and blindly promoting capitalism? Is it promoting class divide? Are we dividing the society between haves and have nots? The city people who have the digital connectivity and the villagers who do not have. So the idea is to develop that consciousness, awareness, thinking, that and that could be done by the people involved in different manner, because each person involved in the whole process has different unique perspective. So when we talk about mindfulness, according to me, it is not just sitting or sleeping on the floor having meditation. No. Because the idea is, and another, this is the other side of it. I, as a teacher, have so many things happening at home.
Yes, sir.
There may be something happening with my daughter, my wife, my son, my parents. If I come to the class, should I talk about my child? Should
No,
I
sir.
talk about my wife? Should I talk about my parents? No. My job is to completely devote it to those 60 minds who are there.
Yes, sir.
And it is ultimately an interaction between my mind and their mind to create a synergic environment. And that is what is mindfulness. Creating a synergy where one plus one is not two, it is more than two. So that
Hmm.
is that's how I don't know. The subject is new, the topic is new for me, but as I said, this is how I approach it.
Sir, you are absolutely right, and it's very informative and unique perspective. So, sir, my next question to you will be, sir, what do you think, according to you, are the key aspects for maintaining a mental well-being?
Yes, a wonderful question. I really appreciate you asked this question at this young age. Normally,
Thank you, sir.
people think about this after 60. Okay, on a serious note, uh, one is we sometimes become unrealistic. As a parent, if I tell my daughter, if you get below 95, your life is lost. If you don't get admission in IIT, your life is lost. If you are doing MBA other than IIMs, there is nothing which you are doing with your life. Or you yourself think that if I do not have BMW, what is the fun? This creates unnecessary, unrealistic stress in the life. This is one. Second, that the two of you are here. One of you could be good in academics. Other person is good in talking to people, interacting with the people. Now, the person who is good in interacting with people is unhappy that my CGPA is low. On the other hand, the person who is good in academics sometimes do not able to talk. The person may stammer, and the person is technically precise, excellent. So he may think that I am not able to speak. This guy is becoming so popular, like Shah Rukh Khan or whoever. So the idea is you have to not worry about what the other person is getting. You should be worried about your core strengths, your gray areas. The areas could be improved, your game plan, and how you can collaboratively work with others,
Yes, sir.
not competitively work with others. The focus is collaborative, I underline.
Sir,
Oh,
it's understandable. So my next question is a bit about your personal aspect. Like, sir,
Hmm.
could you please spot any real life scenario or personal experience or story that highlight the importance of mental well-being?
I had a student who was sitting on the first bench and who was lost. It was many years back, and I, as a teacher, was able to notice that I'm not able to deliver to his mind. So I requested him that after the lunch, he could come and meet me for 5 minutes. When I talked to him, he told me that his father was arrested. I said, then when I asked, he said he was arrested in the excise case in Jammu Kashmir, which was a severe area of concern. I talked to him multiple times to ensure that he remains healthy. He should be able to approach the issue scientifically, not emotionally. And with the series of interaction, after 3 months, his father and his accounts were freezed. All his when you have account excise rate, your entire accounts are freezed. So after 3 months, his father got released, and when this boy got into Google, then I was very happy. So that is what is the importance of mindfulness at the time of stress.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such an interesting and learning story. And
so,
sir,
sir,
please
according
continue.
to you, sir, was that student not that mindful of his stress and cu- current circumstances at that time?
See, it is normal. It is normal. You like a girl and that girl left you. So at this age, you feel that your word is lost. But one has to understand the word is not lost because of one incident.
Yes, sir.
So one need to have a long-term perspective, rationalistic perspective. So many times you need to interact with people who have a bigger experience or a wider experience. So to see the same thing from a different perspective. Sometimes your best friend can do that, or vice versa. He could further ruin the situation. He could say, "Oh, you got flunked in this subject. You are not able to clear algorithm analysis and design. So you'll never be able to clear it. So your entire degree will be lost. And your mathematics is poor. So you are good for nothing." So it is very important that when we are in a state of stress because of any circumstances, many of the times the stress is not created by us, it's created by circumstances. So in
Yeah.
that case, you need to be with the people who are mindful. It could be your parents, your mother, father, uncle, or grandfather, anybody.
So, sir, I'd love to know your views on some mindfulness practices.
See, again, there are many things. The idea is that many times, if I am a yoga teacher, I will sell yoga as mindfulness. If I am a meditation instructor, I will sell meditation as a mindfulness. If
Yes.
I am a neurological doctor, I will sell consciousness as a mindfulness. It's many times when you are in a particular profession, you try to package it and sell it under a particular label.
Yes, sir.
But the bottom line is, when we talk about mindfulness, it is primarily what Tata did: good for people, good for ordinary people, understanding the sentiment of ordinary people, do not getting hyper unnecessarily, maintaining the patience, and able to see different person's perspective. That is what is there. But if you see theoretically in the textbooks, you'll find out all those things there. You can sleep on the floor and get mindfulness. No, it could happen if you have traveled the entire NCR for the whole day and traveled to 300 kilometers. So again, maybe you can sleep on the floor and get mindfulness. But again, they are not that prevalent in all the circumstances. So one has to see what is good for me at a particular situation.
So, do you see any potential benefits or drawbacks for the same?
See, the idea is that it's like when you go to a medicine shop, you get range of medicines, but you cannot take a medicine without consulting a doctor. So it is important to get the right doctor.
That's a valid point, sir.
So, sir, how do you think we should differentiate between a right doctor and a bad doctor, like in terms of mindfulness?
It is too simple. I'll give a very trivial example. Among your parents, you know whom to consult when.
Yes, sir.
Among your friends, you know whom to consult when.
Yes, sir.
Among the teachers, you know whom to consult when.
Yes, sir.
It's as simple as that.
So, your perspective is quite innovative and right too. So, sir, I wanted to know that how do you perceive the role of mindfulness in academic settings and especially for the students?
There are many aspects of it because academics is a very large topic and it has many dimensions. For example, one is brought up in an environment where one of the parent is always nagging. What are you doing? Why are you watching TV? Why are you on net? Why are you making reels? Why have you gone to your friend's place? So the
Yes.
person becomes restless. So even before the examination, the person panics. So for that person, the mindfulness is remain calm. Leave all those unstable advices which one has got and then use your stable mind and apply it. Think of a best friend whom the person can discuss, sit in a quiet room and prepare. So this is case one where you are using mindfulness for academics. Second, the people who are spontaneous, the people who are systematic. If you are systematic and suddenly unusual problem comes in, you're not used to it. You always take 6 months to prepare a plan. Then you
Hmm.
need mindfulness to deal with a spontaneous problem. Or you are spontaneous and you're required to make a plan which requires systematic behavior. You need another kind of mindfulness to become systematic, logical, and organized.
Yes, sir.
So, idea is uh, another case. I tell you to prepare Java in a week, which is impossible. So, what will you do? You talk to six friends of yours. You divide the syllabus in seven components. You work on each component, and then collaborate. That is what is mindfulness, which is able to give you optimum solution. Many times I see younger students like you prepare for the examination like this, and they get very good marks, and some give surprise to their classmates.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, what do you think? It should be a part of curriculums, or do you have any other suggestions for the same?
Yes or no, both. Being a technical person, I would like to see more and more technical subjects,
Hmm.
and that also in more and more depth to increase employability of the students.
Yes, sir.
Frankly speaking, non-technical subjects should not be compulsory, but it should be optional, and people should take it. It could be, again, I'm saying yoga, not sarcastically, but it could be yoga or meditation or any other, or maybe sports, literature, where you may learn how to write poetry or there's mass communication. But frankly speaking, it should not become a compulsory subject because it happens at the cost of a technical subject. Either I will teach you digital signal processing or I will teach you non-technical subject. As a teacher, I will always like to teach you. I want you to teach to learn technical subject and learn non-technical subject which you like.
That's an excellent point, sir. Sir, what do you recommend, sir? Any resources or practices for those who are interested in exploring ways to improve their mental well-being?
Again, I'm not the right person. The right person is your concerned teacher. I can recommend things about my subject, which I know it compulsory. For example, if you ask me the material on quality assurance, maybe a quality guru from Japan is the right person. So, your concerned teacher who is taking this particular subject is the only authority to give you a direction where to go. I think you should consult him.
So, sir, is learning like a student should learn technical skills and improve mindfulness on the side is better, or learning mindfulness as a subject is better for the student? Which one is better comparatively?
It differs. If I like to do BA, then I will do those subjects which are of art subject.
Yes, sir.
And then also I like maths, so I will do maths as an additional subject. But if I have chosen computer application as my main subject, I will obviously focus on
Computer subjects.
various advanced subjects of computer applications and take certain other subjects, and that will be icing on the cake.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
some critics argue that mindfulness is just a trend with no real benefits. Sir, what would be your take on this statement?
Frankly speaking, critics are there to criticize.
Correct,
So
sir.
one should not give undue importance to critics. At the same time, the idea is that different people go for different options. You may go to allopathic doctor, I may go to homeopathic doctor, some other person may go to Unani doctor. So the paths are different, the aim is same. Whichever path suits to someone, the person may follow that path.
Sir, have you seen any noticeable changes in the people who practice mindfulness that you know, or even like if you don't practice mindfulness yourself?
See, frankly speaking, I do not have much exposure about specifically these subjects. But one thing which I always notice that in our institute, when the students like you go and attend those lectures, when they come back, they are happy, and this is a clear indication that the job is done. If my student is happy after spending 1 hour in anything that is useful, that anything could be anything. But the idea is there must be certain structured, organized, systematic processes through which the student is going through and the student is enjoying it. So, as an external person who is sitting in some other institute is able to notice it, it is wonderful. Hats off to the teacher who conducts it.
So,
Thank you,
but
sir.
in the beginning, you said that if a student sleeps for 1 hour and is happy, then that is not also good. So,
If student will not sleep in my class, I will not allow it. I will not even allow nagging. Snow, and of course, if he sleeps, there is a chance of snoring, which I can't bear. Anyway, jokes apart. See, the idea is how could I imagine in my realist dream that if I'm teaching a technical subject, the kind of consciousness which is needed and the kind of focus which is needed for the whole class may could be compromised. It should
mm,
not, because it's ultimately a synergic environment.
yes, sir.
Each person co- contributes in the quality of the class. So there should not be any this thing. Okay,
Sir, do you think that these changes are significant?
I'm not the right person. Maybe the person who is PhD in this subject can do that because doing calibration is a very specialized job. I can do calibration regarding programming, how much Java you have learned, how much C++ you have learned, how much Hadoop you have learned. That I can calibrate. That is what my job is. Non calibration of the benefit of non-technical exposure. I'm not the right person to calibrate.
So, sir, my question to you will be, how do you stay so motivated to continue your preferred mental well-being practices? especially on challenging days?
Yes, that is little personal, but I would like to share with you. The
Thank you.
idea is, I honestly believe that each of us has left brain and right brain. I learn mathematics through one side of the brain, and I read poetry from the other side of the brain. I work on programming practices from one side of the brain, and I watch plays or attend painting exhibitions from the other side of the brain. Unfortunately, in our country, majority of the people try to use only one side of the brain. In my
Yes.
case, I try to use both, and that keeps me happy. I have so many non-technical books. That is one. Second, primarily the students like you keeps me motivated, keeps me energetic. You are young people who are using technology. Both of you, I appreciate, have excellent communication
Thank you, sir.
skills. You are
Yes.
happy talking to people. And so, who could not be happy talking to people like you? So, I am blessed that I have been interacting with people like you for all these years. And thanks to Amity, who
Thank you
has
so much,
provided
sir.
me the opportunity to interact with people like you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, do you have any tips for the generation for staying consistent?
Frankly speaking, it is not, just as I said, the doctor cannot give one prescription to all the patients.
Yes, sir.
So I normally try to refrain myself from giving one advice because it. But if you compare me to give the advice, I would say sleep in the night. Nights are there to sleep, even for the people who are wonderful software developers, because it distorts their entire process of the day. It affects their peace of mind. They are not able to do what they are supposed to do, and it sometimes ruins their relationship with the others. So this is one big advice which I want to give it to you. Second, if I have to give, then I will say talk to all kind of people. For example, if I am, I was born and brought up in a small village. I studied in a Pratibha Vikas Vidyalaya. I know only Hindi. So I will not make friendship with a guy who is from DPS RK. And that is what is needed. And vice versa. If you are from DPS RK, you will not talk to someone who is not good in communication. So there is a need to break the ice. In a class, sit with different people in different lectures or in different days. Do not always sit with your best friend. If you are compatible with anybody in the class, you will be compatible with anybody in the society. And you will be able to earn money, you will be able to grow. It is as simple as that. Coming out of the COVID is the challenge for this society who typically stays in the compartments.
So, sir, what would be your advice to develop compatibility with others, with strangers in general?
It's too simple. For example, if I'm talking to you, I can notice a wonderful dress which you are wearing. I will ask you from where you have got this wonderful dress. You have excellent choice.
Thank you, sir.
Similarly, when I talk to Mohit, I will ask Mohit, among your parents, who is a person who has good sense of humor? From whom you have inherited that? Or is there some other person? So talk about something which is good in the other person.
So, sir, we should compliment the other person, basically. Yeah.
First of all, notice.
Yes, sir.
Half the time we are more concerned about ourselves rather than noticing other people. Half the people are insignificant in our life.
Yes,
Why
sir.
should I bother about second year students who know nothing and spoil my Saturday? Getting it? That's what we do. That's what we do. We half the time don't give importance to a big section of people around us.
So thank you.
We may not ask our mother that if tomorrow is Sunday, how could I make her happy on Sunday?
So thank you for the valuable
So these these
points.
these 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 minor things.
Sir, I would like to end it up with a quote. Every breath is a new beginning. Sir, any last words you would like to say on this quote? How much do you agree?
Correct. Quite true. 100% true. Yes, but this beginning should be more thoughtful, more systematic, more analyzed, and should be not only for your own benefit, but for the benefit of other people also. It should be collaborative.
So to sum it up, what would be your definition once again on the whole topic of mindfulness in general?
I will start from where I stop. I will conclude from where I started. Typically, one should be intelligent and one should have wisdom.
Yes, sir.
And if you have only one, it is not good in the long run. And mindfulness teaches you how to do that, how to reach towards that goal.
Yes.
So, sir, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and experiences with us today, especially on the weekend. And your candid perspective is, sir, very valuable. And with that, sorry.
And thank you so much. And thank you, Satvik. Now I came to know you have AC at home. Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, sir.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
welcome. Bye.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
See you too.